Okay. Hello, everybody. I am so excited to have you here today. I have a very special guest with a beautiful practice that she has. Her business is really amazing, and I will let her explain it to you in depth because I think a lot of us could benefit so much by what she is offering. But I think there's a little bit of education that needs to be shared about what it is and what it can do for you. So without further ado, I would love to have you go ahead, introduce yourself, tell us all about your business and your website link, and basically share why this became your passion and what it means to you and what you want to do with it in the future.
My name is Lenora Curtis, and I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a handwriting analyst, an NLP practitioner, and a trauma-informed specialist. So, hypnotherapy is not what most people think it is. They think it's what they see on TV or on a stage show where people bark like a dog. That's not what I do. Okay. I help people achieve a better life. So you might go through life and you realize, I can never really get a break and the same things keep happening, or, no matter how hard I work, I can't get ahead. Well, all of that is really a subconscious pattern. They're things that have been established a long time ago. And so once you learn the mind, and I went to a school that taught us very in-depth, a 1-year course, very, very rigorous course that teaches us the subconscious, how it works, how you can change those scripts that we all have that are affecting our ability to live a good, happy, prosperous life. Some of us go through a lot of trauma, a lot of things in life that tend to interfere with progress, relationships, happiness. By using a very gentle, positive suggestion, I help people change the way they think, how it affects them, so that they can move forward in life. And it's natural. It's just a brainwave. It's all it is. I've just happened to learn how to use it to help you. So it's not magic. It's not voodoo. I can't control you. I help you use what you already have. Everybody
Yeah.
goes through hypnosis every day. Their
Can you
brainwave.
explain like what that means so that we all go through hypnosis every day? Like that I think will really kind of clear it all up also in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. So whenever you're in a focused state, such as reading a really good book, watching a good movie, driving, and you lose your concentration, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I blanked out. Did I pass my turn? That's a slower brainwave state because you're focused on something.
Mm.
That's a state of hypnosis. Right before you go to sleep at night, you pass through that slower brainwave state in order to go to sleep. That's a stage of hypnosis. When I have a client, I just help them relax. I teach them how to, without getting too scientific, how to control their own ability to relax, how to get out of that fight, flight, and the stress of the day. I give them techniques so that they don't need me forever. I teach them how to do it. They can go into a relaxed state, think more clearly. I give them positive suggestions. We use different tools. They are always in control. And by slowing down that brainwave, by breathing correctly, which a lot of people don't, you control your body, how it feels, how your brain is able to think better. And it gives you more control in life because you're able to have more executive function by simply slowing down that brainwave and being in a more focused state of attention.
And
It's
I would
perfectly natural.
imagine that this is a great way to be more receptive when you're sort of doing affirmations or mantras, things that you want to do that will positively reinforce your life. If
Mhm.
you're able to start in this quieted mind, so to speak, relaxed mind, that it is going to be that much more beneficial for you to receive the things that you're trying to bring into your life.
Absolutely. If you think of the brain like a power grid, there's all these different stations that are specializing in functions, but yet they're all connected. They have billions of little pathways, they're neural pathways. sometimes we can call them roads. Think of them as roads. And they're going to light up whenever you think or feel and you're actively engaged in something. And when you are traveling these pathways all the time, they become habits. So if you're thinking negatively all the time, you're creating a very solid road in your own brain, a habit. But when
Mhm.
you start to change that and you become more focused and more relaxed, you learn how to breathe, you can create a new road of positivity, of happiness. Because of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, you're able to do that. And that is hypnosis. You are using what you already have to create
Mhm.
something better. I just help
I
guide you
love
through
this.
it.
Yeah, I love this. And I love that you can help teach people how to do this because it can help people to succeed that much quicker with
Yes.
that much more ease and joy. Because if we don't know this, sometimes we get into this hustler energy where we're pushing, pushing, pushing.
Yes.
And at some point, that's going to cause some burnout. And it's surely not the most enjoyable way to get things done. So, knowing that there is this tool chest that you have where you can help people to achieve the goals that they have for themselves, but in a more joyful, relaxed, energetic state. I mean, this is really going hand in hand with what the feminine energy wants anyway. So it seems like an absolute tool we should all be using because we want to have a more joyful, nurtured, self-cared for kind of life. And I just think that there's a lot of people that never considered going forward with something like this. And that's why I'm so grateful you're here today to educate, to share that there's methodologies out there that are really beautiful and helpful and can, make this process of building whatever it is in life that you're building towards, your goals. It can help everything to become a better situation. So based on that, can you give me an idea if someone wanted to say try something out with you, would you be able to do you have offerings like your website? What can they find on your website? What is your website link that someone can go out and take a look at what you have and kind of get started with what you're offering?
It is ljchypnotherapy.com. It's my initials, ljchypnotherapy.com. And on my website, you're going to find a couple little posts that I've created to help you understand what hypnosis is. There's a
Mhm.
couple videos to watch that'll give you a little bit more understanding. And as far as offerings, basically, people just call me, they talk to me, find out what they need, and I go from there. I don't really do classes or anything like that. It's individually based because I deal with anything from fear of driving over the bridge to, a referral that someone's been going to therapy for years and they're just not making progress. They've had
See.
deep childhood wounds or they want to stop smoking.
Yeah, I
So,
love that.
yeah,
So
it's
it's more
individual based.
specific and customized, which makes
Yes.
a lot of sense considering that each of us has, a whole different background and
Right.
a whole different hope for where we want to go. So that makes a lot of sense. So I love that. So thank you for sharing about your business. I think that really gives a great insight. And now I wanted to ask you about your journey to your own personal business success. So I'll go ahead and ask you a bunch of fun interview questions and kind of do it in a speed round kind of way. And let me just know when you're ready. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. So I apologize if you hear all of the raindrops. It's starting to pour outside
Oh,
here. So, okay, the first question is, if you could only choose one answer, what is the number one way that building your business has enriched your life, and why would you encourage other women to pursue building their own businesses as a form of self-discovery and self-empowerment?
if you want to build your business, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You discover so many of your own strengths that you never would have tried to do. But when you're building a business, you don't have a choice. You get out there, you network, you go beyond. You're now seen, you're heard, and it's scary. Do
Yes,
it anyway.
do
You
it
will build
anyway.
your business, you will build your confidence, your entire life will change.
I love it. Great answer. Perfect. Okay, next question. How does your business look different now versus when you first started your business?
Oh boy, I had no idea really what I was going to end up doing. I thought I would just specialize in, oh, I'll help people feel good and maybe do some pain management, help them get over a bridge, but I had no clue that it was going to morph into what it is today. I am usually booked out 6 to 8 weeks. I'm working on things that I never thought I would work on, like the severe traumas. I went on and became a trauma specialist. I'm getting my bachelor's in clinical psychology. All of that was driven by my desire to learn more so I could help these people that are coming to me.
I love
So I had no clue that it was going to be what it is now. And I'm actually hiring people to help me because I'm so busy.
I
Um,
love it, and you have such a big heart and a mission to help and serve, and you're recognizing, okay, I want to show up. Maybe I need a little bit more training. Let me get that training and then be able to help. And I think that comes from such a great attitude, and it's really very true for most business owners. You'll start somewhere and then it evolves, sometimes by the things you choose to evolve, and then things come out of nowhere and it just sends you on a new path that's amazing, and it's just keep moving forward, right? When it
yeah,
feels like it's in alignment with you, then yeah, it's great to keep going forward. So wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that you have so much on the burner happening right now, where you'll be able to expand even more into your business, so and help all the people, because we all need that help. So how do you set your business apart from others in your industry?
okay, well, I went to the one of the, well, actually, it is the only nationally accredited college of hypnotherapy in the United States, Hypnosis Motivation Institute. The education you get there is far beyond. And I've gone to a lot of different places. So
Mhm,
they also
mhm.
have a 2-year program. So you get an associate's degree in psychology as well. So you're
Oh,
learning much
yes.
more than just, we don't teach you how to read a script. They're
Yeah.
teaching you about the subconscious mind. You're learning some psychology so that you know more. I'm also a handwriting analyst, and I use handwriting to see those subconscious traits, to see how their brain is processing information. Because, not everybody learns the same. And I also
That
can see how
is
that drives
interesting.
behavior,
Mm.
you see. And I'm able to use both of those, the behavior and how the brain is learning to make that change. And then once somebody is enlightened, oh my gosh, that's why I feel the way I do. Everything changes.
Yeah.
The average hypnotist doesn't really do that. They don't go through that extreme. I didn't go to a 1-week course. It cost,
Yeah.
more than $30. and and I'm still
Yes.
studying. I'm constantly learning. I go to other schools and universities so that I can continue to learn, so that I can help these people on a higher level that they deserve. They deserve that.
I love that, and I know that that level of education and consistent training that you're doing is going to give everyone that is listening a really strong feeling of total confidence to, if they're wanting to do something like this, you are the go-to person for this, because just the fact of the schooling that you went to, that it was accredited, and all of the training that you have received so far and continuing, and the years in practice and everything that you're covering, I think that is very important for people to have that sense of confidence in working with someone when you're talking about mental brain waves and so forth like that. So I'm very happy that you shared all that. I we had a chance to talk earlier, so I knew how amazing you were, but I'm so glad that now everybody else is going to be able to hear and see this as well. So perfect. Okay, so let's see. How did you market your business when it was brand new? How did you get your first clients?
Well, when I went through school, we had to do 6 months of pro bonos, and we have to, you know, they give us some clients, we go out and get our own. I would go to every business and tell them about me and give them my card and give free sessions, as many as I could while I was in my clinical
Mm,
internship. So that's another thing that sets us apart. We have to do an
Yes.
internship, you
Yes. It's
know.
it's like going to medical school, doctor,
Exactly
residency,
right.
the whole nine yards. It's a big
I
deal.
I also joined networking groups, and I
Mhm.
highly recommend networking groups because you're getting out there. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Love
And on
that. That
top of
sounds
that,
like that's a key phrase on your desk
yes,
somewhere. Do it anyway.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love that.
I, of course, I did the traditional marketing, business cards, flyers, gave a lot of free sessions, and then the referrals started coming in. My
Mhm.
business was built on referrals. I've done
That
very
doesn't
little
s Yeah.
marketing.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Absolutely doesn't surprise me at all. And I know that your calendar is booked out probably all on referrals. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's just going to keep happening because I can see that the passion and the level of expertise that you are offering. I mean, absolutely, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, next question. What was one of the biggest challenges you had to overcome as you were growing your business?
The financial part of it was tough because in the beginning, I did do a lot of free work and a lot of very discounted work so that I could get my name out there and build my own confidence at the same time. It's challenging when you're first starting a business,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it has to do with your own mindset. So
Yes. Yeah.
the hurdles to overcome was the financial part. You do what you can, you keep moving through. For a while, I worked a part-time job to help until I started making enough to support myself. And the mindset, working on your mindset. I have my own little, it's called the mental bank. It's what the school taught us. And it's like the law of attraction. Every night before I go to bed, I do my mental bank. I do the steps, and my entire life has changed. I've changed my mindset about what I deserve, what I can achieve.
Mhm.
The law of
Can
attraction
you?
is real.
It really is. It really is. And can you, for someone who's just listening and they've never heard of this mind bank, can you give them a 3-second exercise that they can do every night to start this?
The mental bank, it's a book you can get off from HMI. No, it's hypnosis.edu. Go to the bookstore. It tells you there's a little video you
Hypnosis.edu.
can watch. There's even a YouTube video. This
Huh.
book, you write down every night before bed your value events that you're doing to achieve your goals, and you're paying yourself mental bank money.
Ah, I see.
And
I love
then,
that concept.
yeah, because that's your brain is learning through, you're
Mhm.
already in hypnosis 30 minutes before you go to sleep. So
Okay.
you're putting in positive images into your mind that you're attracting, you're achieving. On the next page, you're writing down what went well. Don't worry about
Mhm.
what went wrong. Let's think about
Yeah.
what went well. You're
Yes.
bringing in
Yes.
more positivity. And then at the very end, you're writing down your affirmations, three
I
or four
love
positive affirmations, and then you go to sleep. So what you're doing is you're inserting positive psychology here,
I love
positive
it.
things. The mental bank money, you're paying yourself. That's the bringing in the finance. Your brain learns through images, symbols, feeling. You're
Mhm.
feeling good. You're getting all these great
Mhm.
things. Then you go to sleep.
Perfect. That
Attract
I love this. Love this.
positivity. Yeah.
Yes. Is there anything for the morning that happens
Yes.
specifically?
Well, of course, I always do my gratitude meditation in the morning before anything,
Mhm.
before I even get out of bed. When I wake up, I'm just going to breathe. I'm going to do my gratitude meditation. I'm very happy and grateful and thankful for everything that I have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Think about what you do have. And
Yeah.
then I do my releasing journal. If you want
Mm.
to let go of the things that went wrong yesterday or the day before, feelings you have, do that in the morning. Release that in the morning, not at night before you go to bed. Let's bring in
Mm.
the positivity and sleep on the positivity and let go in the morning. So that's my gratitude meditation in the morning and my journaling and letting go of feelings and things that I no longer need.
I love that. It's sort of like prepping properly for the day, clearing the slate and having a new canvas to have a beautiful day on, and then just keep repeating that process. This will help so many people. Just this beautiful evening and morning ritual that you shared. We can all do this as 10 minutes in the evening, even 10 minutes in the morning. It's a great gift to give ourselves to help us. So thank you for sharing that. That's really
And you
lovely.
can
And
find this on my website under the post. Change your life in 5 minutes a day.
change your life in 5 minutes a day. I love that. Okay, perfect. Um, so then how do you deal with, well, let me just see if I want to, let me go to the next question. Okay. Now I already know the answer to this. So this is probably a big yes, no, but do you agree that mindset is more important than systems and strategies?
Yes.
Yes, yes, we have definitely covered that. Okay. Now I want to talk about money blocks because as a money coach, I run into this a lot with women. There's sort of a typical type of money block that happens, but did you ever currently have a money block that you were able to break, and how did you do that?
Excuse me. In the very beginning,
Mm,
I felt guilty charging people.
mhm.
I felt
Comes
like
up a lot.
I was never a real big earner. I did well. I mean, I was never,
Mhm.
without, but I just managed daily life. I was just
Right.
getting through paycheck to
Mhm.
paycheck. And when I started to get paying clients, I felt, wow, this is a lot of money for me. I'm not a doctor. I didn't get $100,000 in student loans. I don't deserve to charge them this much money. So little
Mm,
by little, as I built my confidence and I did my mental bank, I discovered my worth and I had to just push up those rates a little bit more
yes.
until finally one day my clients started saying, you need to raise your rates.
Yes. Yes.
When my clients started saying you need to raise your rates, I started to think, wow, my self-worth has got to increase. So I use, of course, I have a hypnotherapist as well and my
That's
mental
great.
bank.
I love
And
that.
we were doing hypnosis for me, for knowing my worth, my raising my self-esteem, knowing that I'm changing lives.
Yeah.
And it's an exchange of energy. It's a value that
Yes.
they are putting into themselves. When I started to realize it wasn't about me taking money and that they were paying me for my skills and in return changing their entire life, I began to look at things differently. So that mindset and understanding that your skills, your abilities are worth that exchange of monetary energy.
Wow. I really feel like every woman that listens to these words that you just shared will have a mental shift just from what you just said, because this is a big one. This is one of the biggest money blocks that women tend to go for. So thank you for sharing that. That was, I could not have said that better. And I love, it's funny because the next question here literally is, have you had coaching to help you with your mindset and business growth?
Yeah,
And I love that you just said you have your own hypnotherapist to help you, because coaches need coaches, right? We all need
absolutely.
coaches.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. If I didn't
Mhm.
have my own hypnotherapist, I wouldn't have made it this far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Sometimes I always think like when we watch the Olympics and ice skater, of course we expect to have a coach from their childhood throughout their entire career. It makes sense. They want to be the best. And sometimes we never connect the dots that, well, don't we want to be our best in our businesses? And why do we think we know everything or should know everything and have to figure out everything? Why don't we sometimes allow ourselves to get the coaching we need so we can get that much farther, faster, and in a more enjoyable, loving way? And so it's really important. So thank you for sharing that as well. So women, give yourself permission to get yourself coached in whatever area that you need it. The other thing I always say, give yourself permission to delegate and hire the things you don't want to do, don't like to do, can't do. You don't have to do everything. So,
That's right.
right, exactly. And these are tough for women, because we're like, we should do everything and do it perfectly. And we really are hard on ourselves sometimes. So it's really nice to hear it from others that have given themselves permission. And when we hear that enough times, we start to accept that, well, of course I should do this for myself too, because that is the norm. And I was assuming that nobody was doing this for themselves. And this is why I love these interviews that I will be sharing, because it will help women mostly give themselves permission. in whatever areas, they were not giving themselves permission. Because when we hear enough women saying they are giving themselves permission, then it makes you be able to say, well, maybe I can do that for myself too. So
Right.
perfect. Yeah. Okay. Next question. What is your number one professional tip for women to grow their businesses?
Never give up.
Never
No
give up.
matter how much you might think, oh, I just can't do this, it's not working out. Don't give up. There's always that story that I've read it before. And there's even a little cartoon where the big pot of gold is this far and the person digging stops this far from hitting it.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
give up
Absolutely.
and realize that if something doesn't work out, that's not failure. It's only feedback. It means you're going to do it a different way. I have
Mhm.
tried things over and over, and if this didn't work, then I try that. And I fell down a few times. I had some bruised knees, but you know what? You get yourself back up and you keep on
Yeah,
trying.
that's
And
right.
then
And it
one day
builds
you hit.
character.
That's right.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Let's see. What has been your biggest victory or milestone that you have achieved in your business so far?
So many.
Yeah, I love that
Every
answer.
time I read a review or someone calls me and says, I did it.
Mm,
I
mm,
succeeded at this. I can drive my car without panics. I can visit my family 200 miles away for the first time in 20 years. I got a job that I never thought I could get. Or I can go to sleep without nightmares. Or any of those things
mm.
that whenever my clients give me a success story, that's my biggest victory.
Yes, I get that. I completely understand that. That is for me also the affirmation. I live for, someone saying I appreciate you. It means more to me than the all the other things. So and I think a lot of us women probably feel that way too. And that's really great as long as we also can fill our bank accounts because, like you were saying
Yep,
before, we are worth it. And we need to
that's right.
also have a life, and life costs money. And it's okay because you're giving a valuable exchange of energy, like you shared, that change that is life changing.
And when
So,
you get referrals,
yeah.
that's a victory because that
Oh,
means people like you and they want to refer their friends and family to you.
yes.
Referrals, every referral you get, every client that walks in that door and says, oh, so and so told me about you. That's a victory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we need to celebrate those victories. What will you never compromise on with your business?
Ethics.
Mm, yep.
Ethics are important.
Yeah.
My client confidentiality, my learning and helping people from my heart, never compromising or trying to do better on by hurting somebody else, you know,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
and building people up, building and always supporting others. Even other, people will say, why do you support other hypnotherapists? They're your competition. No,
No.
they're not.
Mm-mm.
They are going to attract just the right clients for them. And there are billions of people in this world. I'm not right for all of them, and all of them are not right for me.
That's right.
So
I
I
love
refer a
that.
lot.
Yes. That gives you that releasing energy that you need, that a lot of times, especially in the beginning, when money is an issue, there can be this constriction in the body because we're so afraid, we have bills to pay, and sometimes we chase a little too hard and we feel that icky salesy way. And it is because you have to replace that with a faith. And you don't sell, you serve, and you trust that the universe, God, will bring to you what is meant for you,
Yep,
and keep away what isn't meant for you. And if something comes in, everything is a learning process. And but it takes a little while to let go and release, and as soon as you release it is when it actually comes in, because it's
that's
like,
right.
it's sort
Yeah,
of like that song, if you hold on too tightly, you're going to lose control. Well, it's kind of very true, right? So,
that's right.
okay. So next question. What would you change about your business journey, if anything, if you could go back in time?
You know, huh, I don't think I would change anything because all of it has taught me something and brought me here where I am today.
Yeah.
Did everything that I tried work? Nope. Did some people say, "Oh, I knew you wouldn't be able to do that"? Yeah, they did. Did I care? Nope.
Good. I'm glad you didn't care. We can't
Yeah,
care so much what other people think. Mhm,
exactly. And just
mhm.
keep, building. And those things that didn't work helped me find out what did work.
Yeah,
Can't say it was always perfect, can't say it was always easy, but I can say that I am exactly where I need to be, and I'm very happy living the life that I never thought I could live. I have
yeah,
the dream job.
yeah,
Money is literally, I mean, I can say that the universe just sort of hands it to me when I need it,
yeah,
it shows up.
yeah.
Um,
That's
and that's
awesome.
the mindset.
Yeah, I just thought of a question that's actually not on the cards, but a lot of women, uh, I think we all are until we do it enough times, are afraid to be visible, get on camera. Oh, I'm to this, I'm to that, I'm not this, I'm not that, and all the stuff,
Yeah.
which we can turn on ourselves in circles and never get anywhere. So how did you have a little bit of that nervous energy in the beginning? And if so, how did you get over it?
Oh boy, did I ever. I was scared to death of being seen. As a matter of fact, in graphology school, my mentor, they will look at your signature and analyze it for you. And the first thing she said is, "Why do you want to be invisible?"
Wow.
And I thought, well,
Wow.
because then I won't be criticized and made fun of if I
Wow.
mess up. And
Right.
so through changing my signature,
Mm.
making it visible was step one in changing that neurobiology of stay invisible. You don't want to be laughed at. You're going to make a fool of yourself. And then, of course, going through the hypnotherapy, I was so afraid of being seen and heard and made fun of. I had to take certain steps to achieve the awards that are back there on that wall
Yeah.
in school.
I see them.
Those awards is really what helped get me out of that comfort zone. I had to join networking groups. I had to go into the public. I had to do group sessions. And
You
that
had to
was
get outside
very
of your
scary.
comfort zone. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now everyone's looking at you. Everyone can laugh at you. Everyone can say you're terrible. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
I
funny.
kept
I
telling
have
myself.
yeah, I forget who said this, but I remember hearing it somewhere and I loved it and it really made sense. I it won't phrase it perfectly, but it was something to the order of when you are putting money in my bank account, I'll care about what you think. Something to that order. If you're not,
Right.
so basically, if you're not basically paying my bills, I'll just be myself and do my thing. So that was one thing for, I kind of liked when, because in the beginning too, I had a couple very close friends being like, what are you doing? Money mindset coach? What's that? And like the judgment came and I wasn't prepared for it, but it taught me to get strong. And I remember I personally have always had a pretty strong attitude about not really caring about criticism. I care about people, but not necessarily the criticism. But this, because it was new and I was older and it was a friend of my husband's, and it just made me a little bit more nervous,
Mm.
or the feeling I didn't like, and I knew I had to get over that. And I said, okay, I will. And I did. But one other trick I remember doing for the longest time is take up space. And it's so funny. Sometimes I catch myself doing that. I, if you're out, put your arms out on other chairs, make some space for yourself so you're not shrinking. It's a physical act, but it really is like I belong in this world. I am able to take up space and I'm valuable. So little things like that sometimes make a difference, right?
Yep, my hypnotherapist would give me a lot of positive ego strengthening. You
Hmm,
are valuable, knowing your worth, knowing that you deserve just as much health, wealth, and prosperity as anybody else. And
absolutely.
when you begin to love yourself more than others, and when you learn, like when I started learning how the brain works, I realized that those people who judge, they're projecting out their insecurities onto you. Their fears are being projected out. So now when they do that, I just sit back and I smile and I'm like, well, that really has nothing to do with me. You're
Yes.
telling me your story by doing that. And your story is saying, I have fear. I'm afraid that you're going to do better than me and I'm going to look like a failure now. Or the more you do, the better you do makes me feel less worthy.
Mhm.
And
Mm,
that's what the subconscious mind is really saying. And
yes.
so those judgments no longer meant anything because I realized it has nothing
Wasn't
to do with
about
me.
you.
It's
Yeah.
not about me. And some
Mhm.
people think hypnotherapy is horrible and it's voodoo or something. And I'm like, okay, you can own your beliefs. Go right ahead. That's okay.
Each their own. Yep.
Each their own. And when you're ready to let go of those limiting beliefs that are holding you back, come see
Yeah.
me. We'll
I
talk.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Love it. I think this was important, this little moment. Everything that we've talked about is super important, but this is also important because
Mhm.
we can tend to be a little bit too concerned with what other people think of us, and it stops us from living our one beautiful, precious,
Yeah,
magnificent life the way we're meant to live it. And those people don't care so much whether or not your life was great, so so, or bad. So they got their own thing going on, and we
that's
need
right.
to just make sure that they're doing their thing, you do your thing and go for it. Don't let criticism or fear get in your way. What's the worst that can happen, right?
You're right.
So
And the worst
yeah.
thing that can happen is you can succeed and they won't.
Yes. And that's also the best thing that can happen, I guess, too. So
Right?
you're succeeding just by trying. So
Right.
even if it doesn't turn into a total success, just the fact that you're succeeding um, at trying something that matters to you, that's success. In fact, when I started to reach out to people to interview for this book and the other things that I'm doing with success stories, I had a couple people say, "Well, well, I didn't make this certain amount of money yet, and I don't have any employees." I'm like, the fact that you are following your dream, even if you're on day one of that, that is success. Everything else is just a little bit more success as you go forward, but you've already succeeded because you're listening to your heart, you're trusting yourself, and you're going for it regardless of it. It's going to be a little bit difficult here and there at times. So to me, success is just starting, and
Yes.
then there's just more success after that. So what is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur
Well, when
for
you're an
you?
entrepreneur, you don't have that security of a weekly paycheck.
Mhm. Yeah.
So month by month, things could be really, really busy or things could slow down. You still have to pay your bills, they don't
Yep.
stop. So
Yep.
that part is a little bit scary. But
Mhm.
when you have that entrepreneur mindset,
Yeah.
you don't want somebody else controlling your life,
No, you don't. You
And I was very, very fortunate. My business took off. I was seeing 40 to 50 clients, 60 clients sometimes a week.
wow.
And then I got a full-time job working for the school that I graduated from. And now I do
Oh,
both.
wow.
But I work for the most amazing school, the most amazing people. So it's not the same as those jobs. And I work from home. It's not like I have to drive an hour and there's someone
Yes.
standing behind my back yelling at me and
Right.
demanding and trying to take a vacation once a week, 1 week maybe out of the year, if you're lucky.
Right.
I'm not
Exactly.
doing
Plus
that.
you're doing what you love. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. And then who is your biggest business role model? And also, what is your favorite business book?
Oh, goodness.
I had to name one.
One business book. Gosh, I can't think of just one. My business role model is
Mhm.
actually going to be the school that I graduated from, Hypnosis Motivation Institute, because it was created by Dr. John Kappas out of nothing, and
Yeah,
his son George now runs it. And they built it from the ground up because of their passion and their belief. They weren't millionaires that had all
sure.
this money. They
Mhm.
created it. And watching that story has inspired me in so many ways.
Yes.
Um, I did a lot of personal self-discovery, and I read when I used to be in management. It was a book that was higher. Oh goodness, what was the name of it? And I still have it here somewhere. Um, can't
It's
even think of.
okay.
It's hiring for strength, but I can't remember. Instead of experience, you're hiring your strength, but I can't remember the name of it.
No worries, no
Um,
worries,
yeah, I can't. There's too many books that I've read, and I can't
no
pinpoint
worries.
just one.
I love the book that you shared before about doing the mind bank
Oh,
journal.
yeah.
So I
Yes.
think that's the only book that we all need
Yeah.
anyway.
The
So I'm
mental
hoping
bank
that
ledger.
the
Yeah.
mental bank ledger, I love that.
I really love Napoleon Hill
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I read a lot of those older books,
Sure.
and I think those made more of an impact on me than any business book that
Yes,
I've read.
absolutely.
I've read
Absolutely.
books about building a hypnosis business from other people that have done it, but I think the books from Napoleon Hill and
Yeah.
the older
Yeah,
generation
sure.
of,
It was
I
the
think
beginning
those
of the
matter.
mindset
Yeah.
work, really. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think
Okay.
that's why I can't really pinpoint just
There's
one.
just too many good things,
Oh,
right?
hire tough, manage easy. That's what it was.
Hire tough,
Hire
manage
tough,
easy.
manage easy.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like something to look into. And then our final question is, what is something your audience doesn't know about you?
Well, I guess that would be my background. A lot of people
Ah,
don't know that I came from a single mother with 6 kids on welfare, drugs and alcohol, a lot of
mm,
abuse, a lot of emotional neglect. So I didn't just wake up one day in a middle class lifestyle and things weren't just handed to me. I fought for them.
yeah,
And I had to do a lot of my own inner healing to
yeah,
to achieve the success that I have today. Because once upon a time, I didn't think I deserved this. I used to be on the bus as a child looking at these nice houses going, wow, they must be rich. It would just be a normal, average middle class house. It wasn't a
yeah.
mansion. But to
Right,
me,
exactly.
you
Right.
know, it was something. And I wondered, how did they get there? How do they do this? How can they afford school? How can they live like that? What are they doing differently? And I always wondered, and I never
Mhm.
stopped wondering and being
That's,
curious and
yeah,
learning. So people look at me today, they don't know the roads I've traveled to get here.
yeah.
There was a lot of pain, a lot of healing, a lot of experience. I've done a lot of things in my life.
Mhm.
Sometimes we're really, really good and other times we're really, really bad.
Yeah.
Now I can say, when I call them tower moments, when you feel like your whole world is caving in on you and there's no way out, just realize that means the universe is shutting the door to the old way, opening the door to something new.
I
I now
love
look forward to those moments because now I know that when I reach the other side, something great's going to happen.
sort of like the rejection is redirection type of,
Exactly. So
absolutely. Well, I am so moved by this beautiful interview. It's been amazing, so educational, so helpful, so inspiring. And I am really looking forward to getting this out there and sharing this. I know this will help so many people. And before we sign off, can you just go ahead and share your website link one more time so that people can find out more about you?
sure, it's ljchypnotherapy.com. ljchypnotherapy.com.
I want to thank you so much for being on today. It's been a great
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And I'm sure that there's some way that we'll go ahead and do something again in the future. And we can share it with everybody as the time goes forward. So thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day.
You too.
And I
Thank you.
will be back to all of you on another episodes of Success Stories soon. So thank you for watching or listening. Bye
All right,
for
bye.
now.